Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Elhamdülillahi rabbil alamin. Ves salatu vesselamu ala rasulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmaîn. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri vahlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli. With the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear brothers and sisters, last week we started to talk about the chapter Joseph in the Quran. And we came to the verse 15. Joseph, peace be upon him, saw a dream, and he talked about his dream to his father, and his father Jacob commented on it. And then he said that be careful to your brothers. And his brothers took him for a picnic. And the verse 15 says, and so when they went away with him, they decided to cast him into the dark depths of the well. They wanted Joseph far away from his father, far away from them. And the next part of this verse, and we revealed this unto him, we revealed to Joseph, Allah Ta'ala sent his divine inspiration to Joseph. Although he was a child, Allah sent him a revelation. Does it mean that his prophethood started? No. He was a child, he can't be a prophet really, but we can say that this divine inspiration is a starting point. It is a help for Joseph. In the future, he will be a prophet because he is not adult. Prophethood for adult people. He can preach Islam. He can invite people to Islam. But he is only a child. So this kind of inspiration is something to help Joseph. You will yet remind them of this their deed, this their work. In the future, Joseph will inform his brothers what they did. When they shall not perceive who you are, in the future, they will not know that he is Joseph. They will think that he is another person. They couldn't find it. They couldn't understand that he is Joseph. And suddenly, Joseph will inform them the reality, what happened in the past. And at nightfall, they came to their father weeping. Why are they crying? Why Joseph's brothers are crying? Because they will tell a lie and they try to persuade their father that they will tell the truth about Joseph, because they didn't bring Joseph. They went on a picnic and they came without Joseph. They are at home. Oh, our father, behold, look, we went off racing with one another. It can be an archery, or this one, archery, or they were running. There was a race among them. We don't know really which one is it. And left Joseph behind with our things, with their belongings. They had a race, but Joseph was not in the race. He was left aside with their belongings, they say. And thereupon the wolf devoured him. The wolf ate Joseph, they say. It's not true. But they try to persuade their father that they tell the truth. But we know that you will not believe us even though we speak the truth. They blame their father. They are liars, but they see that their father is the guilty person, because whatever they say, if it is true or not, he doesn't believe his sons. And they produced his tunic with false blood upon it. Tunic, it's a long shirt. It's not like our shirts, it is longer one. Today, Arab brothers wear such things, tunic, and they put false blood. It's fake blood on this tunic. Why? They claim that wolves came and ate Joseph, but it's not true. They try to deceive their father. But Jacob exclaimed, "Nay, but it's your own minds that have made so terrible a happening seem a matter of little account to you. You did something wrong. He didn't believe his sons. He didn't accept what they say. And you obeyed your own wishes, your own desires." In reality, he wants to say that, "I don't believe what you say. You did, a wolf came and ate Joseph, it's not true. But as for myself, patience in adversity is most goodly in the sight of God." Fesabrun Cemil in Arabic language. Twice he says Fesabrun Cemil. Patience belongs to Jacob. He is a patient person. Whenever he has a problem, he shows his patience and he shows his tawakkul. He trusts in Allah. Is most goodly in the sight of God, and it is to God alone that I pray to give me strength to bear the misfortune which you have described to me. He believes in Allah. He advises this. He lives a life in accordance with this tawakkul. He lost his son. His sons don't tell the truth. They try to keep Joseph away from his father. Jacob didn't believe what they say. And what can he do? He can do nothing. Did he try to find Joseph? We don't know. Allah doesn't say anything about that. Maybe Allah Ta'ala didn't want Jacob to try to find Joseph, because Allah Ta'ala ordered him to go to another place. It was a test for Jacob and Joseph. They are two prophets. In the future, Joseph will be a prophet, and he should be far away from his son. It is a very hard test, and in the future also he will lose another son, Benjamin. His sons also will want him to take Benjamin with them, and what will happen? Also Jacob will lose his son, will lose Benjamin as well. And what will he say? He will say, "Fesabrun Cemil." Patience is for me. I should be patient. And there came a caravan, a group of people. They are merchants. They try to sell and buy things. They came to the well. Which well? The well in which Joseph is available. And they sent their drawer of water, the person, and he let down his bucket into the well. For water, he sent his bucket into the well. And when he saw Joseph, he exclaimed. And suddenly, this person saw that there is a boy in the well. And what did he say? "Oh, what a lucky find, this boy. Ya bushra hada gulam." He found a boy in the well. Why? This is a good news for him. He will sell this boy. He will get money. He will be a slave for them. So he is happy with this boy. And they hid him with a view to selling him, but God had full knowledge of all that they were doing. Why did they hide Joseph? Because maybe the owner of this slave will come. Hey, what are you doing? Why do you take our slaves? Why do you take with him? Take him with you. He will be angry. Or his father will come. What are you doing? This is my son. Where are you going with him? He will ask. So they will have some legal problems. Because of that, they hide Joseph. But God had full knowledge of all that they were doing, and they sold him for a paltry price. Very little money. For very little money, they sold this boy, Joseph. They wanted to keep him away from them because of these security problems, possible problems. A mere few silver coins. Silver coins in Arabic, dirham. Gold coins, dinar. Dinar, the plural form is denanir in Arabic. Plural form of dirham, derahim in Arabic language. And they got some little money, derahim ma'aduda, a little money, and they gave Joseph. Thus, low did they value him. They didn't know the value of Joseph. They couldn't understand that this boy is a very precious boy. They couldn't understand. And the man from Egypt who bought him, what happened? Joseph was living with his father together in Canaan. Canaan, today, Palestine. He was living with his family in Palestine. And what happened? He became a slave, and now he lives in Egypt. He went to another place. Sometimes we see something bad, but in reality it can be good for us. It will be good in the future for Joseph. Although slavery is bad, but something it brings good things for that person. And the man from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, the Quran says he is Aziz. The Quran in general doesn't give the names. So we don't know the name of this person, but the Quran says Aziz. Also, Muslims say that his wife's name is Züleyha and Zeliha. The Quran doesn't give her name as well. Because the aim of the Quran is to advise people. The Quran is not a historical book. It doesn't try to give historical facts, but how can we see the true way? The Quran's aim is so. If we see lots of names in the Quran, it means that we can't focus on the lessons easily. What does he say to his wife? Make his stay with us honorable. Joseph will stay with us as a boy. He may well be of use to us. He can be useful for us. He can be a slave for us. Another choice, what can he be? We may adopt him as a son. This is the second choice. Which one did they choose? They chose the first one. Joseph became a slave for them. How can we know that? Aziz's wife tried to seduce Joseph. If we say that he was adopted by them, it is very, very abnormal thing. It is very, very immoral thing. It can't be in reality. And thus we gave unto Joseph a firm place on earth. Allah Ta'ala provided Joseph a new place. He was living in Canaan, now he lives in Egypt. And we did this so that we might impart into him, we teach him some understanding of the inner meaning of happenings. Ta'wil al-ahadith. What happens on earth? Joseph understands it very well. He knows the meanings of the dreams. His father as well, Jacob, knew the meanings of the dreams. Also Joseph knows. Another meaning, Ta'wil al-ahadith, what will happen in the future. Joseph knows that. And Joseph explains that. People visit him and ask him, what's the meaning of this dream? And he answers. How can he know that? Allah Ta'ala informs him. For God always prevails in whatever be his purpose. Allah Ta'ala is victorious over everything. Allah Ta'ala does whatever he thinks, whatever he wants. But most people know it not. Most people don't live a conscious life. How should they believe? Most of the people ignore this. How should they act? Most of the people ignore this. People in general like without thinking, and the Quran encourages people to think. Nearly 500 Quranic verses mention the importance of thinking. Why? Because the addressee of the Quran is our mind. The Quran is for the thinking people. Without thinking, if we can't think, how can we live Islam? How can we obey Allah? And when he reached full manhood, he became an adult. Joseph became an adult. We bestowed upon him, we gave him the ability to judge, hukum, between right and wrong. He can easily decide. He could easily decide what is wrong, what is true, what is good, what is bad. He can easily judge. He can help people. He can show the people easily what to do, how to believe. He can show. As well as innate knowledge, Allah Ta'ala gave him knowledge as well. The highest rank in knowledge is divine inspiration. Allah Ta'ala gave the certain knowledge, wahi, ilm, to his prophets. And other ilm, other knowledge comes higher, lower in rank from this ilm. For thus do we reward the doers of good, Allah Ta'ala, amilus salihat, who performs good things in this world, Allah Ta'ala will reward them. وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. If we invite people to the good things, how can we know that something is good or not? The first one is the Quran. How should we believe in Allah? How should we act in accordance with Islamic principles? We know from the Quran. The second one, Sunnah. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed us how to act, how to live in accordance with Islam. We can understand the truth from the Quran, the Sunnah. Also, whatever Muslims in general, the majority of Muslims, how do they believe, how do they act, it is also important. But it is on the third level. On the first level, Quran, the second level, Sunnah, and third level, what the Muslims do. How do they believe, etc. We consider three. Three of them are very important for us. And it so happened that she in whose house he was living conceived a passion for Joseph. and sought to make him yield himself unto her. Joseph has another problem now. What is the first problem that we know from the Quran? His brothers were envious of him and they put him into a well, and he went to another place and he became a slave. After that, another problem. Joseph met the woman in the house where he lived has got some ill wills. She wants to seduce Joseph. And she bolted the doors, she locked the doors, not only one door, 3, 4, 5, there are doors, and she locked, and said, "Come you unto me." She tries to seduce Joseph, very dangerous, because nobody is around, and she said that, "Come closer to me." But Joseph answered, "May God preserve me." قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ. Joseph had tevekkül. He obeyed Allah. He was a pious person. Although he's a young person, this woman tries to seduce him and he disobeys her. And قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ. May Allah preserve. He said, "May Allah preserve me." We understand from this expression that Joseph didn't incline to her. He didn't want to be with her. He didn't have such a wish. قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ. Directly he refused her demand. "Behold, goodly has my master made my stay in this house." He mentioned what this woman's husband do for Joseph. If he was to say that, if your husband did so, how can I go against him? By your invitation. Verily, to no good and come they that do such wrong. So he kept himself away from this sin, the sin that the woman invited him. We see that he is a very good young person, good example for young Muslims, young people. If they had such a problem, if a woman invite them to do something bad, to do something immoral, they should keep themselves away from this sin. Allah Ta'ala gives us such examples many times from the aspect of prophets, sometimes from others as well. There are good examples in the Quran. If we follow them, if we consider them in our lives, inshallah we will keep ourselves away from sins. And indeed she desired him, as his wife desired Joseph, and he desired her, and he would have succumbed had he not seen in this temptation an evidence of his sustainer,'s truth. What happened? She tried to seduce Joseph, but Joseph kept himself away from her. He kept himself away from sin. He didn't accept her seduction. What did he see? What's the proof that kept Joseph away from this sin? We don't know really. Some commentators say that the locked doors unlocked, and then it was something extraordinary, and Joseph saw that, and then he kept himself away from this sin. Some commentators say that anything can be make him remember anything which makes him remember Islam, he saw something, and then he kept himself away from this sin. Allah helped him. But before Allah's help, what happened? Joseph said that, "Ta'ala ma'adallah," may God preserve me, he said. So he was a faithful person, he was a pious person. Allah Ta'ala helped him and he kept himself away from her. Thus we willed it to be in order that we might avoid him all evil and all deeds of abomination, for behold, he was truly one of our servants. Allah Ta'ala kept him away from sin. Why? Because mukhlasin, ikhlas, good Muslim, obeying Muslim. He only obeys Allah, not others. Allah Ta'ala helped him and saved him from sin. So he became a very experienced person. He saw many things in the life. From the childhood, he saw enviousness because of his brothers. And then he was sold. He showed slavery. What's that? And then he saw a seduction. What's that he saw? And he obeyed Allah. He obeyed Allah. He obeyed Allah. Allah saved him from sins. Why did Allah tell Ibadil al-Mukhlasin, Ibad, plural form of Abd? Allah Ta'ala addressed his prophet as Abd, slave. Why? Because if people like other people, sometimes they try to worship them. He is a very good person, very good person, very good person, they say, and they started to worship them. It's something bad. Is it really available for also the prophets? Yes. For example, Jesus. Jesus was a man as well. He was a prophet, and people said that we like him, we like him, we like him, and exaggerated their loves. What happened? They said that Jesus is the Son of God. They started to tell such things. It is unacceptable according to the Quran. Because of this risk, Allah Ta'ala sometimes in the Quran said that for his prophets, Abd, slave of me. They can't be idols, they can't be gods. They are only men. And they both rushed to the door. What happens? This woman locked the doors, and Joseph wanted to escape from her, and he ran. The woman ran. They were running. But Joseph was escaping, and she was after her. And the doors unlocked, if the commentators are right in their opinions. And then, what happened? She grasped and rent his tunic, tore his tunic, Joseph's shirt, from behind. This is the second time for his tunic. When he was a child, what happened? His brothers took his tunic and put a false blood on the tunic, and then they brought it to their father. Hey father, this is Joseph's tunic. What happened? A wolf ate Joseph, they said. And this is the second time Allah Ta'ala talks about his tunic. What happened? The woman tore his tunic. Were they the same tunics? No, they are different. The first one is for his childhood, and now he's an adult person. Also, we will see the third times his tunic, and this tunic will help his father to see. His father in the future can't see because of crying too much, and Joseph's tunic will be put on his face and then he will see. This is the third time. And lo, they met her Lord at the door. What happened? Joseph was escaping and the woman was after him, and then at the door they saw the woman's husband, Aziz. Said she, what should be the punishment of one who had evil designs on the virtue of your wife? What but imprisonment or a yet more grievous chastisement? She says, Joseph was the guilty person. I didn't do anything. I'm a moral woman, but Joseph is an immoral person. He wanted to seduce me. He wanted to commit adultery. And there will be a punishment for him, she said. She wanted to say. And two ways can be, she said that. The first one, imprisonment. He will be put into prison, Joseph, as a punishment. And another one, grievous chastisement, torturing. Why didn't she say that he should be killed because of this crime? Why didn't she say so? They say she loved Joseph because of that. She didn't want Joseph to be killed. And only two ways of punishment she mentioned. Joseph exclaimed, it was she who sought to make me yield myself unto her. He said that I'm not guilty person. I didn't want to seduce her. I didn't want to commit adultery with her, but she wanted, he said. And how will they decide which one is true? The woman tells the truth or Joseph told the truth? How can they understand this? Now one of those present, a member of her own household, suggested this. A person is over there and she is from her household. So we think that he will help her. He will be in the side of her, we think. But no, he is a just person. He doesn't aim at oppressing the person who is not among his relatives. He is a just person. Some commentators say that he is a baby, only baby, and this baby was an extraordinary one, and he can talk. And this baby said those sentences that will come. What did he say? If this tunic, Joseph's tunic, has been torn from the front, this part, what does it mean? Then she is telling the truth. So Yusuf wanted to seduce her. Yusuf is the guilty person. Joseph is the guilty person. And Joseph is a liar. But if this tunic has been torn from behind, what does it mean? She is lying. فَكَذَبَتْ وَهُوَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. And he is speaking the truth. Joseph tells the truth. Joseph is not guilty, but the woman is guilty. It means so. Is he a witness or a judge? It is not clear in the Quran. From an aspect we can see that we can consider him as a witness. From another aspect we can consider him as a judge. And when her husband saw that his tunic Joseph's tunic was torn from behind, he said, Aziz saw, behold, this is an instance of your guilt. Cunning intelligence. innehu min keydikun. In Arabic, O womankind, verily awesome is your guile, cunning intelligence. So he understood that, Aziz understood that his wife is a liar. Joseph tells the truth. He understood this fact. How? Because of the witness of the woman's, he is from the woman's relatives. He is among the woman's relatives. He told the truth, and he was a good witness, and they understood that Joseph is not guilty but the woman. Verily awesome is your will, cunning intelligence, but Joseph, let this pass. Yusuf a'rid an hadha, he says. Yusuf, forget it about. Disconsider it. It happened and forget it, he says. We understand that this is a weak person, this is a weak husband. His wife governs him, he obeys his wife. Although he sees that his wife is guilty, he doesn't punish or he doesn't divorce his wife. And you, O wife, ask forgiveness for your sin. Vestağfiri li zembik. İnneke kunti minel khati'in. For verily you have been greatly at fault. Can we say that they are Muslims? Why? Because he says, ask forgiveness for your sin. We don't know really, Aziz was a Muslim, we don't know really his wife was a Muslim, we don't know that. In a great possibility they were idolaters, but they have got a kind of belief, considering Allah, considering the one governing the universe. But they have got also idols, and they have got not a good religion, not acceptable religion, and they believe in Allah, maybe. Now the women of the city spoke. They are gossiping. The women in the city, they talk about this case. What do they say? Thus to one another, the wife of this nobleman, Aziz, is trying to induce her slave boy to yield himself unto her. Aziz's wife tried to persuade Joseph to commit adultery. They talk about. Her love for him has pierced her heart. She loved him very much. She is a lustful person. We see that she is undoubtedly suffering from an aberration. This news was bad news for women because Aziz's wife, they talk about Aziz's wife. She is an important person, her husband is an important person, and the women in the city talk about this case. It is this scandal. Thereupon, when she heard of their malicious talk, she sent for them and prepared for them a sumptuous repast, mutteka'a. Mutteka'a is used for invitations, dinner, like that, and they eat easily. For luxurious invitations they use, it's a kind of pillow. She prepared a good place for these women, the woman talking about her. And handed each of them a knife. And said, Sikkin in Arabic language, and said to Joseph, come out and show yourself to them. She invited Joseph, come here. They are my invitees here. They are my women here, and they visit me. and we eat something, and they've got knives, etc. Come here, she said. And when the woman saw him, they were greatly amazed at his beauty. مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا. And so flustered were they that they cut their hands. When they saw Joseph, they cut their hands. They cut their fingers. Why? Because Joseph was very, very handsome. In general, commentators say so. Joseph was very handful person. Some commentators, they are the minority, they say that he was very moral person, pious person, good person, he had a good character. That's why these women were astonished because of Joseph. Why? Because when Aziz's wife invited him, what happened? He didn't look at the women. He looked in front only. He didn't watch the women, and they thought that he is an extraordinary person. He is like an angel, they said. But the majority of the commentators don't think so. They say that Joseph was very, very handsome person. That's why these women said that he is not a man, but an angel. Exclaiming, God save us, this is no mortal man, this is naught but a noble angel. Said she, this then is he about whom you have been blaming me. You blame me, you are gossiping about me. You said that Aziz's wife tried to seduce Joseph, and you saw Joseph. It is the best example of empathy in the Quran. This woman uses empathy. She invited the woman gossiping about her, and then he said that, do you understand my position? I see every day Joseph. I am in the same house with Joseph every day. You see him now, and you say that, he's an angel, he's not a man. Every day I am with him in the same house, she said. So empathize with me, please. If I am guilty, you saw my position, she said. So we can't say that empathy is every time something good. Sometimes it is bad. It is used to legalize immoral things, sins, bad things, unacceptable things. Your wish, your intention is important. And indeed, I did try to make him yield himself unto me. I tried to seduce him, Joseph, but he remained chaste. He was a good person, pious person. He didn't accept. Now, however, if he doesn't do what I bid him, what I offer him, what will happen? He shall most certainly be imprisoned. He will be put into prison if he doesn't obey me. Very, very dangerous woman. She is very decisive. She tries to seduce Joseph many times. And shall most certainly find himself among the despised. He will be not valuable person if he disobey me. If he disobeys me, he will not be valuable person, and he will be put into the prison. Said he, Joseph said, O my sustainer, prison is more desirable to me than compliance with what these women invite me. Dear brothers and sisters, we see that not only one woman tried to seduce Joseph, but other women as well. It is a very hard test. Aziz's wife tried to seduce him. Also, the other women tried to seduce Joseph. Very, very hard test. Also, he is not an important person in the palace. He is a slave. For unless you turn away their guile, their cunning intelligence from me. So Joseph wanted help from Allah. Please help me. I'm in difficulty. The woman tried to seduce me. I'm in hard position. Please help me. He wanted help from Allah. This is a good lesson for us as well. We can't say that I am a very pious person, I am obeying person, I do my prayers, etc. for Allah. So everything is okay. No, we need Allah's help every time. Before test, during the test, after the test, we need Allah's help. And Joseph shows this fact for us. You turn away their guile from me. I might yet yield to their allure and become one of those who are unaware of right and wrong. God, if you don't help me, what will happen? I will be inclined to them. I don't want this. Please help me, he says. Wallahu musta'an. Help comes from Allah, and he wants help from Allah against the sin, against the sinful people, against the risky, dangerous people who invites to have sin. And his sustainer responded to his prayer. What happened? The slave, Joseph, wanted help from Allah. Allah Ta'ala answered him and helped him. So Allah wants us to seek for his help. Allah Ta'ala knows everything. But although we know this fact, we should seek help from Allah. İyyâke na'budu ve iyyâke nesta'in. We pray for Allah and we want help from Allah. It is one of our tasks. And freed him from the threat of their guile, cunning intelligence. Verily, he alone is all hearing, all knowing. Allah hears everything, Allah knows everything. Such Quranic expressions in general having two meanings. Allah knows everything, Allah hears everything. If you do something bad, know that Allah knows it, Allah sees it, Allah hears it. If you do something good, also Allah knows everything, Allah sees it, Allah hears it. If you do bad things, Allah Ta'ala will punish you because He sees and He knows. If you do good things, Allah Ta'ala will award it. And why? Because He sees, He knows everything. For presently it occurred to the nobleman and his household, even after they had seen all the signs of Joseph's innocence, they understood that Joseph is innocent. Joseph didn't do anything bad to Aziz's wife. He didn't try to seduce Aziz's wife. They understood that because there is a witness as well. Witness said that we should consider his tunic. If it is torn from this part, front part, it means that the woman is okay. If it is torn from the back, it means that Yusuf was escaping and she was after her. And this witness helped Joseph, and they understood that Joseph was innocent. They understood. But what happened? They had seen all the signs of Joseph's innocence, that they might as well imprison him for a time. They put Joseph into the prison, although they know the fact. They know that Joseph is innocent, they put him into prison. It shows that sometimes we do something true, okay, no problem, good, but the result, the worldly result can be bad for us. But what is important for us? The important thing is the hereafter. If we succeed in the hereafter, okay, this is the great success. But we succeed nearly everything in this world, in the hereafter, there is nothing, it is only a lost. It's only a lost for us. Inshallah, we will not lost in this world and in the hereafter. Inshallah, we will succeed in this world and we will try to obey Allah and we will try to finish oppression. The good example is in Gaza. May Allah help our brothers in Gaza, inshallah. They will pulverize the enemy. And inshallah also we will be successful in the hereafter together. And Allah Ta'ala brought us here together. Inshallah in the paradise we will be neighbors, inshallah. In our next lesson, inshallah, we will continue from the chapter Joseph, the verse number 36. Thank you for listening. Peace be upon you. Selamun Aleyküm.